Guys, what an emotional roller coaster this week has been. I mean, I am mentally drained, and this is why. So, I started the week with a nice $500 green day on Monday, May 5th. And then I had a nice record breaking best green day so far of 2025 with $1,147 on Tuesday. And then this happened on Wednesday. I started the day negative with $3,400 in the red. I mean, I went from a $600 loss to a $1,600 loss and then to a $3,400 loss. Literally at 4:30 a.m. New York time. I mean, the day hadn't even started yet, and I was already deep in the red. I had given back not only whatever progress I had made in May, but I gave a decent chunk of April back as well. And this is the point of this video. So at that point, I dove into step one of my emotional recovery process, and that was internalizing the loss. What happened? In my case, on ticker MEGL, I took three stabs at it, one short and two longs. So my first trade was a short trade where I lost about $700, roughly about $690 or $700. And then I immediately got triggered and I wanted to recover the loss right away because I didn't want to be in the red. First thing in the morning, super early in the morning, the last thing I wanted to see is a $700 loss. And what I did, knowing very well that I'd never make any money on the long side, I went in heavy with 10,000 shares long and I took instantly another loss. So that I went from $700 to $1,600, took a tiny break, and then I jumped in again with another 12,000 shares and took another loss. So that's what got me into $3,400 in the red right and early. So that was the internalization of the loss. That's what happened. I got emotionally triggered and I dug myself a hole. I threw myself a little pity party and I was like, you know what, it's still early. Let's clear my head. Let's at least chip away at the loss, which brings me to the second point of emotionally recovering from this loss. I'm like, what can I do now? So I did what I did best. I tried chipping away at this loss little by little. All right. And by the time I finished the day, I was $1,900 in the red. So from 3,400, I got the loss down to 1,900, which is an emotional win. So that was the second part of my recovery process. Did I do anything right today? Like, if obviously I did a bunch of stuff wrong and it's pretty evident, but what did I do right? And that was bringing that loss down systematically. If you look at obviously all the green trades, they were like whatever, 200, 300 here and there, but I kept chipping away. So I was finishing the day red, but mentally I had got my loss down from 3,400 to 1,900. So I gotten about 45% roughly of the loss recovered. And the next day, I jumped into step three of the process, and that was to just make sure I finish Thursday in the green, no matter what the amount is, because a $3,400 loss obviously shook my confidence because I've never had a $3,400 green day. So taking a loss that big obviously shakes my confidence. So I was like, you know what? Let's focus on base hits and let's just get my confidence back up little by little. No need for any home runs, just chip away. And God was kind, guys. And this is what happened on Thursday, which was May 9th. I finished the day $1,400 in the green, which was actually my new best day of the year. So at this point, I have recovered about 85% of that $3,400 loss just by focusing on base hits, guys. Let me jump into TraderView and show you what that recovery on Thursday looked like. It wasn't home runs. I chipped away little by little. So let me jump into TraderView and let's look at that day real quick. So guys, we're in TraderView. Let me minimize this real quick. So that's my profit graph on the day, guys. So I started with $40 on the day. Again, focusing on base hits. Kept that going. Went from 40 to 125 to 330, 469, and then got a really nice win on ticker WGRX, which bumped my P&L on that day, and I finished $1,400 in the green. And at this point, I have recovered pretty much 85% of that $3,400 loss, guys, which is really good progress within 24 hours of that loss. And that was Thursday, May 8th. And then I went into Friday again, telling myself that it's Friday. I don't usually have really big wins on Friday. Just that's how my stats are. I don't know. I'm tired from the entire week of trading, so I take it very easy on Fridays usually. So I was like, you know what? If I can finish $200 or $300 in the green, my job is done. And that's how Friday went. Let me just pull that up in Trader View as well. So that's Friday, May 9th. Again, really tiny stabs. I finished $140 in the green. And at this point, I have recovered 90% of that loss, guys, with that right mindset of just focusing on chipping away at the loss by base hits. That's it. And I was fortunate enough that I got that really nice win on ticker WGRX, but that was one win. The rest have been really tiny wins that I've just stacked up one over the other. So, guys, that's my quick 3 step process to emotionally recover from a loss. Again, just to reiterate before I let you go, first step is internalizing the loss. What happened? What mistakes did you make? What rules did you break? And be absolutely honest with yourself during this first important step. Second step, were there any positives from that day that you can literally rely on as strength for yourself? For me, it was chipping away little by little at that loss. I knew I had dug myself a decent sized hole, and it was almost impossible for me to recover everything in one day. So I did what I do best. I chipped away little by little at that loss. Step number three, get back to basics the next day. The next day, I knew all I had to do was finish the day green by playing it safe and making sure I get my confidence back. All right? Perfect. Let me know how you guys recovered from your trading losses. I would love to hear that story in the comment section. Until the next video, guys,